Hi everyone, I'm here with Chelsea Hancock. She's a gold leader in dōTerra and is going to share her MetaPWR story. Chelsea, I wanted to start off with what was life like for you before you started on MetaPWR? Can you paint us a picture?
Yeah, so right before I started MetaPWR, I was pretty much in a really complacent part of my life. I'd recently turned 25 and was just going along for the ride. I've been in the same job for a while. Everything was pretty calm, and I wasn't inspired to do much. I was struggling a lot with my mental health, which has been an ongoing journey for the past 8 years or so. And I got it to a pretty good place. I was kind of just floating around, really. And I didn't really feel like I was living the most of my life, especially after the coronavirus and pandemic. I felt like my early 20s were kind of a nothing burger. So I was kind of just, for lack of better words, yeah, just floating and taking life for granted, I think. Yeah.
And you say in your testimonial that you thought the collagen was mostly or primarily for hair, skin, and nails. When you started using it, what was the thing that you noticed the differences in?
So straight away, and surprisingly, I noticed a big shift mentally. And it was within about a week, I was suddenly really energized, energy I hadn't had before. I used to feel always fatigued, always like I needed to lay down after I did anything or thought about things. And I felt like I couldn't jump from task to task. But with collagen, with that advantage, sorry, that all just went away. Things were easy to think about, to do. I could get up. I felt motivated, which I haven't really experienced an external motivation like that before. And I was able to take on the day and actually think about, how much would I like to get done today? Which is just something that, previous self would have been like, how little can I get away with doing today? Just very much sitting on my laurels.
What a massive change. And were you taking lifelong vitality already? Is that part of
No, so
Hmm.
no, I actually wasn't taking anything else. And I'd even, been really lackadaisical with using the oils as well, as I'm sure everyone goes through seasons where they forget to use the oils and then they start using them again like crazy. I was kind of just coasting and I wasn't taking anything else. And I just saw these sachets come out and I was encouraged to try them. And they are solely responsible. And that's the crazy thing. Like, there was no other possible factors or reasons why this change could have occurred other than the MetaPWR advantage.
That's amazing. And what you just said about how, we go through phases and maybe we're not using our oils much or we're just forgetful. I saw on your Insta the oil amnesia. I love this. It
Yeah,
says when you forget how well oils work. So yeah,
literally every time you're like, oh, I don't want to use oils, and then you try it and then it works, and you're like, oh my God, why haven't I been using my oils?
yes, you
You
can
know?
anyone watching this video, yes, we can all relate. So what
Yeah.
was it that inspired you to try those little sachets?
So I can't really remember what inspired me other than my mum, Peter Jane. She was like, "Oh my God, I just went and saw." She was watching US convention, and she's like, "You've got to try the MetaPWR." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like sure." She was really excited about it, and she kept sending me links to the training, and I never ever did the training. I never opened anything. I didn't do any research.
Oh, where
I just was like, "I'll give this powder a go," and I didn't even try the rest of the system. And I thought, like I said, it was for hair, skin, and nails, biotin. And I didn't really think I needed help with hair, skin, and nails too much, so I wasn't really excited about it. But then my world just changed completely.
Yes, can you talk us through some of those changes, please?
Yeah. So first off, it was like intense energy and motivation, like I talked about before, where I just wanted to get as much done as possible because I was like, holy crap, I have 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else. What can I do, And then it was like being able to focus deeply on a task and then switch to another task or get interrupted and not freak out. I think with neurodivergent people sometimes, or neurospicy people, we kind of get a little bit overwhelmed when things change all of a sudden, even if it's a task to task basis. And we kind of need to reset and like rest our nervous system and prepare to go into a new task. That completely stopped. I wanted to sleep 8 hours a night all of a sudden. And I had this healthy outlook on getting up every morning, wanting to exercise all of a sudden, or just be in movement for more of my day. And that was something that I'd never done in since I'd left high school, I hadn't really moved my body, or nor had I wanted to. And so that was a great change. And part of that deep focus that I was able to harness meant that I was able to research more about my body and my metabolism. And it was kind of just, how Google works, it pops things up for you and spies on our conversations. So it wasn't really something self-directed, but I kept coming across these amazing podcasts with doctors and all about fat cells and metabolism and how our body works and how our brains betray us when we have a sluggish metabolism and we're not respecting food. So that was all super interesting and kind of culminating all at once. I had better sleep quality. I was getting up in the morning at a normal time. I had no drowsiness. I was able to be very productive and finish things. And I was inspired to go about my life. Prior to Advantage, I had, I'll say, a 15-year soft drink addiction. So I was addicted to Pepsi Max and sometimes Coke. And that's a really difficult addiction to kick if you've ever known anyone that's seriously been addicted to soft drink, especially as it was my only vice, if you will. Like, I don't drink or smoke or party. So I was like, I'm allowed to drink soft drink. Everyone get off my back. But it's really difficult to kick. And the Advantage reduced my cravings to nothing, and it wasn't even hard. And I accidentally just stopped liking the taste of any soft drink at all. And then similar thing with a gaming addiction I'd had for off and on 10 years. I always needed games to relax and undo the day and just feel, I don't know, stimulated in a neurodivergent way. And I couldn't really get that from anything else. And that compulsion to get on some kind of game, even if it was on my phone at night till 2 a.m., just dropped away as well. And I just wanted to make healthier decisions, be more productive, sleep more, move more. And then before I knew it, here I am now, and I'm like moving, strength training 3 times a week, cardio 5 times a week, things I would never have done before.
So it sounds like you weren't even consciously deciding to quit those addictions or get movement. It just was part of the natural progression.
Yeah, it never crossed my mind. I never thought like, oh, I'd really like to be fit and lose weight and stop playing video games. Never. I still don't even feel that I need to do these things. It's just my body wants to. I started wanting healthier food, and I started wanting to learn how to cook. And then I started wanting to just move my body to feel what it feels like to feel a little younger again and not so stagnant. And I think Advantage really highlighted for me how uncomfortable I was in my own body and all the neglect that I had been placing on myself and my interests. And I just kind of been cocooning away and playing video games, which is all well and good. But, Advantage really woke me up and was like, hang on, I don't actually want to feel like this. I actually want to feel what my body could feel like if it was healthy and things like that. So it definitely wasn't conscious. And the weight loss and things like that are incidental, but I'm very happy with the results.
So you're seeing yourself physically different as well as how you feel.
Yeah, so I've lost about, I think it's, what are we on, 8% body fat now. And, the numbers on the scale can be, everyone has muscle mass and fat. So body fat percentage is probably one of the better things to gauge. So yeah, around 8% body fat is huge. Are on track to be 15 kilos lighter within about 8 months, which is huge for me. I struggled with my weight, as in I was always underweight my whole life. So I couldn't put on weight even if I tried. And I had a very unhealthy relationship with food. So I would eat whatever I wanted. It was a lot of junk usually. And I was addicted to junk food and soft drink. And I just couldn't put on weight. And when I hit my early 20s, the weight just started slowly creeping in. And I didn't really mind because I was like, finally, this is what I've always wanted. I'm not a stick anymore. Um, and then I kind of just forgot about it and tried not to think about it. But with collagen, I realized, the weight did really stack on over those 6, 7 years. And I wasn't able to lose any just by moderating myself until I got onto the Advantage. So, and it took the guesswork out of it. I didn't have to think about my calories. I didn't have to think about diets. I just wanted to naturally start sleeping better, which will help your weight, walking, which will help immensely, and then just making slightly healthier choices by not having as much soft drink or as much junk food in the beginning.
So good. And it's the smart supplementation that's going to help people get motivated to have these changes and stay active as well. And I really like how, we've got the 5 pillars of metabolic health: healthy eating, which it changed for you. You're more mindful with what you're choosing. Your
Yep.
daily movement, like you're into fitness and being active now. Healthy
Hmm.
connections. Can we come back to healthy connections and stress management? What are your relationships like now since having MetaPWR?
Yeah, so another thing I forgot to mention was that MetaPWR helped with my thought, all things thought related. So one of those things was a deeper connection to myself and understanding. And so I was able to have introspective conversations with myself, which then allowed me to form better, stronger relationships outside myself, right? So it's all about that internal building block and that catalyst that helped me really move things forward. I went through a pretty tumultuous time throughout, the last 7 months. I've moved twice, entered a new relationship that was pretty significant, moved straight in with that person, and that can cause a lot of stresses and tension and all of that. But it's actually been really, really easy and all ease and grace with Advantage because I've been able to communicate myself really well, even when I'm under hormonal contraceptives, as I'm sure women know. That can make you really moody and make you lash out and say things you don't really mean. But Advantage really helps you just get introspective about, okay, what do I actually want? And then how do I communicate that with people around me? And so I think that fosters better connections and support. And everyone in my life has been so supportive of these changes, which I'm so grateful for. They want me to enjoy my life, get fit, enjoy movement, enjoy eating, and they're all happy to support me on my journey to do that. So I've been very, very grateful for that. But I also think Advantage has helped me start the building blocks for better relationships. And also, um, you know, kind of confronting people that weren't the best for me or moving away from toxic situations. Self-esteem and confrontation were two things I never dealt with before. And Advantage, just again, that mental clarity and motivation and understanding that there's a bigger picture out there and you're not going to crumble at every turn. Those anxious feelings dissipated and I was able to go, you know what? I'm completely ready to disconnect from that part of my old life and those people because it's not serving me. And it's just, again, kind of an addictive tendency to go back to those people, I think. So that's one of the other amazing things that Advantage can help you get rid of.
It's just phenomenal hearing you speak and seeing how you're becoming this whole new person, Chelsea. It's beautiful. I'm getting goosebumps as I listen, and I'm sure people watching the video will be as well. So thank you so much for what you've shared. I guess one more question. I'd love to know, how did you make it become a habit that was easy
Mhm.
and consistent?
So I think for me, I start very like easy on myself, I guess I'd say. I just needed to take it once a day. That's it. Don't worry about taking it at 11 a.m. every single day. Don't worry about taking it right after this particular meal, right before that particular meal, right before you work out. Life's busy and life it gets in the way and things change all the time. So my goal with making it a habit was just take it once a day. I don't care if it's 11 p.m. at night and you've nearly forgotten, or if it's the first thing in the morning. So for me, it was often the first thing in the morning because I hated the taste and I just wanted to quickly get that out of the way. That taste thing disappeared within 3 days. I started to love the taste. I started to love drinking water as well. But yeah, it's really just going easy on yourself, and Advantage will help you with prioritizing habits and forming habits because you'll just want to. You'll just want those feelings. And especially, I think for me, the luckiest thing was that I got an almost instant, it was usually within 2 hours, I got a massive energy kick. So it really made me grab for the Advantage because I was, feeling sluggish and without caffeine, I wanted the Advantage to give me that energy boost to start my workday.
Fantastic. It's fascinating. And now you're getting onto the whole complete system with the, you
Yeah.
can see next to me here, the assist and the lifelong vitality. We can't wait to watch your journey as it unfolds even more brilliantly. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. And I also wanted to say I haven't been 100% consistent. I haven't taken Advantage every day. I've missed 4 or 5 days of advantage in a row, and I haven't felt any lack of the effects, you know, other than that instant energy punch. But the clarity, the habits, the intention, the health focus has stayed. So it was really a catalyst, and you don't need to beat yourself up if you miss a day, for example.
Yeah, it has an accumulative effect in that sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you so much for your time, Chelsea. And thank you everyone for watching. It's such a great journey to watch you on, and we can't wait to see what's ahead for you.
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, I'm happy to answer anyone's questions if they want to reach out indirectly or directly. And yeah, I wish everyone luck on their own unique journey with the products. And I can't wait to see what the rest do for me as well.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Thank you. Take care.